Good morning, children of the Father. And again, I was led back to my first video, the parable of the sower. I opened up in Mark today and started reading, and here I come right to where Jesus even spoke his own parable of the sower. Starts in Mark 4, verse 3. Listen, behold, a sower went out to sow. And it happened as he sowed that some seed fell by the wayside, and the birds of the air came and devoured it. Some fell on stony ground, where it did not have much earth, and immediately it sprang up because it had no depth of earth. But when the sun was up, it was scorched, and because it had no root, it withered away. And some seed fell among thorns, and the thorns grew up and choked it, and yielded no crop. But other seed fell on good ground, and yielded a crop that sprang up, increased, and produced, some 30-fold, some 60, and some 100. He said to them, He who has ears to hear, let him hear. As we read further on, verse 13, Jesus starts to explain to them, Do you not understand this parable? How then will you understand all the parables? The sower sows the word. And these are the ones by the wayside, where the word is sown. When they hear, Satan comes immediately and takes away the word that was sown in their hearts. These likewise are the ones sown on stony ground, who, when they hear the word, immediately receive it with gladness. And they have no root in themselves, and so endure only for a time. Afterward, when tribulation or persecution arises for the word's sake, immediately they stumble. Now these are the ones sown among thorns. They are the ones who hear the word, and the cares of this world, the deceitfulness of riches, and the desires for other things entering in choke the word, and it becomes unfruitful. But these are the ones sown on good ground, those who hear the word, accept it, and bear fruit, some 30, some 60, and some 100-fold. So it leads me back to think, as I said the other day, that basically the ground has been tilled for you, and you're exposed now. You're seeing the deceitfulness of the world and who controls it. So taking some more time to listen to this harvesting time, it's not really the total harvest yet. It's really the beginning. Remember that. Many of you are like that little shoot sprout coming up. Okay? It first puts out the blade, then the head. Okay? It says here, Yeshua even says so in verse 28, For the earth yields crop by itself, first the blade, then the head, after the full grain in the head. So, looking back at when you're helping someone receive more of the wisdom and the knowledge of the Father and of the Spirit, being a farmer, when a farmer is tilling his ground, he sees a rock or a stone there, and if it's able to be moved, they will get out and move it. So you need to perceive that rock or stone like a hard spot or a pain or a hang-up or a hurt inside of another person. And we need to figure out a way to get out there and get that stone, that hardness in their heart, that bad spot, that hurt, that scar, whatever that is in them, and get it out. This way, the actual ground is really good and fertile now. You see? Just like it says to have deep roots. So these roots get in there deeper. Okay? I was reading the other day back through Proverbs, and I came across something else that aligned with this, that said, The son that gathers in summer is wise, and the lazy son who does not gather in harvest brings shame. So think of yourself right now. We're at the beginning of this. Okay, like I said, people are thinking, oh, it's harvest time. Yes, it is a type of harvest time, but it's really the beginning. There's some of you that have already been awake and been learning this for such a long time. You're already ready to come on through and become a messenger as well and be part of this Garden of Eden that is creating the earth to heaven, heaven as above, so below, and so forth. So going back to these people that you know that you can help, and they have that pain there in their heart, that rock that's there in the ground of who they are and what they're trying to achieve and build their garden with, pull that out with them. Help them. Heal them. Whether it be male, female, boy, child, women, it doesn't matter. If they are truly seeking the Father and seeking and knocking on that door, and you have some wisdom and knowledge that you can share with them, if you have some pain that you yourself has went through in the past, I mean, take it from me. I used to be a drug addict. I used to shoot methamphetamines into my veins, okay? I can take that pain that I went through and learn from now and try to help someone else off of that. That's what I'm referring to. You might have went through something that you have the key to the kingdom for someone else. Think of it that way. And it's not just a one person learning, it's a reciprocation of it. Okay? As you have this wisdom and knowledge you share with them to help them, they have something they give back to you. It's a reciprocating effect. Okay, and this leads back to empathy skills and everything else as well. Remember that, empaths, reciprocating. It's not a feed or give, it's reciprocating. That is the true function of it, and how Father wants you to really experience your time here. Be sure that even when you deal with these people that are in amongst the thorns, you see those thorns that are wrapped around them in a sense. Thorn in my side, you've heard all these different parable sayings. Those that are amongst the thorns, watch yourself, don't get caught up in those thorns. I've been there as well. Okay, that's almost like relapsing and going back to my addiction. That makes sense? So, watch those thorns. And just like any farmer would, they get out and they clip those weeds and those unwanted weeds and such out of that garden, so it will grow correctly, and the fruits and the fruit-bearing plants and the trees and such will grow deeper roots. Y'all have a beautiful day. It's a wonderful time to be alive.